Thank you, Mr. President. Our nation, this body, and the American people are all too familiar with stories like Laken Riley's, the 22-year-old nursing student beaten to death by an illegal immigrant, one who was already in police custody in New York City before being let go. Unfortunately, after 4 years of Biden's open border, this heartbreaking story has become too commonplace. Hardly a day goes by without hearing of another American who has fallen victim to crimes perpetrated by the illegal immigrants the Biden administration let flood into our country. And worse, too many times an illegal immigrant arrested for a violent crime posts bail, never to be heard from again, escaping through loopholes in the law. This crisis only continues. While these tragedies should have never happened in the first place, my colleagues and I are taking action to ensure they never happen again. My legislation, Sarah's Law, in conjunction with the Laken Riley Act, will close these loopholes so our laws no longer prioritize illegal immigrants over our own citizens. Working to secure the border and protect Americans is not a new fight for me, but it became personal nearly 9 years ago. On the 31st of January, so at the end of this month, marks 9 years since Iowans Michelle Root and Scott Root, who I know personally, woke up to every parent's worst nightmare. Their daughter, Sarah, was killed by a drunk driver that was an illegal immigrant. Sarah, and she is a beautiful young woman. She was 21 years old. She was from Council Bluffs, and she had just graduated from Bellevue University in Nebraska with a 4.0 GPA. She had her bachelor's degree in criminal investigations. She was headed home after celebrating this really important milestone with her family and her friends. Sarah had her entire life ahead of her. But instead, an illegal immigrant, Edwin Mejia, who was drunk driving with a blood alcohol level 3 times over the legal limit, struck and killed her. One would think that Sarah's killer would clearly meet immigration and customs enforcement priorities. But no. Citing the Obama administration's November 2014 memo, ICE declined to take custody of Mejia, despite his repeated driving offenses and history of skipping court dates. Before the Root family could even lay Sarah to rest, her murderer posted bond and was released, never to be seen again. To rub salt in the wound, the Biden administration removed Mejia from ICE's most wanted list. Since then, I have warned repeatedly against the dangers of letting illegal immigrants who have already broken our laws roam the country and continue their lawlessness. I have continually called on this body to step up and protect innocent Americans from criminals who are here in our country illegally and pass my bill, Sarah's Law. A loophole in the law means Sarah's killer escaped justice. But today we can do something to ensure no other family has to go through the pain and the grief that Sarah's parents, Scott and Michelle, still feel from their heartbreaking day. My bill, named in Sarah's honor, would close the alarming loophole that let Sarah's killer go free. It would simply require ICE to detain illegal immigrants charged with killing or seriously injuring another person so they do not disappear before facing justice. It's common sense, folks. No parent should have to endure the pain of losing a child like the Root family did. But unfortunately, the Riley family is experiencing this same heartbreak. Sarah and Laken's deaths are both tragic and unfortunately are doomed to be repeated if we don't close the loopholes in that law. Those who come here illegally and harm our citizens should, without question, be detained so they face justice. Again, folks, this is common sense. We can no longer prioritize illegal immigrants over public safety. We must pass the Laken Riley Act and Sarah's Law to send this message loud and clear for Sarah's family, for Laken's family, and for the countless American families that this action would protect. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.